was a magical time. Time of exploration, time of wild characters, super awesome performance art. The Fringe was really special to me in the first couple of years of putting it together, 2008 and 9, because of the people that I got to work with. This guy, Robert Thoth, my co-founder, we put it together, and he was my collaborator from 2000 to 2013. And it was really special and exciting to get to put together this amazing festival. We started Frenetic Dance together, we created Frenetic Theater together, and we did this festival in 2008, and it just built from there. And 2009 was a great year for us and for the festival in general. And there were some really amazing shows, lots of great dance, lots of great theater, so many wild things. This guy swallowed mayonnaise until he puked, and he's also the owner of Notsuo downtown. This guy brought in a huge beam, 40 feet long, from his house that was being foreclosed on, and he took his whole damn house apart because, you know, he said, screw you guys, and he danced with it in a loincloth, and it was gorgeous. And there were so many amazing theatrical and dance performances, and the idea was to give people a platform to express themselves and to push themselves out of their comfort zone, out of their boundaries, and the same thing for audiences, to give them something new and wild. And we had visual arts in 2009 for the first time, and I met the Harmeyers, Rachel and Brett, my favorite artistic couple. They're great. We had a DJ for one of our dance parties. We had a Christian mime. Yep. He did a show called Cookie Impossible, where he was undercover he was a kid going undercover to get into the cookie jar as a secret agent. It was adorable. And so in the midst of all this amazing performance art and all this fun and excitement and magic, I wanted to contribute something. I wanted to perform, and I wanted to be a part of it. And I didn't have a dance company at the time. So this guy, Rob, oh my God, he was a modern dancer. He taught me modern dance at U of H, and he had moved to New York and got really into burlesque and buto. And he came down and did this really like politically charged, sexy, wild, fun piece, and I loved it. And he also agreed to MC the 2009 Anything Goes night. And so I thought, wow, everybody's performing, everything's so fun, colorful, and wild. I want to do something, but I guess I'll have to do a dance solo, because I don't have any dancers right now. We were on hiatus. And I thought, what should I do? What can I perform? And I remembered my friend, Greg. And I thought, I'm gonna make a dance for my friend Greg. He was this really amazing kid that I met in college. I was bartending at the beer cellar, and he came in on Gothic night. And he was this great dancer, really vibrant spirit, really wild individual. He was a visual artist and did photography and collage and lots of cool stuff. And I really loved him as soon as I met him. He was infectious, and everybody who met him loved him too. And we spent a lot of time together within like a 6-month period, and I got to know him really well. And he was also epileptic, which I thought I had never met an epileptic before, but he thought his epilepsy was a gift. He thought that it connected him somehow to the spirit realm, and that it gave him access, his seizures gave him access to answers of the universe. And he talked about Native Americans who were shamans because they had epileptic seizures that showed them things. And so he thought it was okay, and he didn't want to take his medicine for it. He thought he could control it with doing enough yoga and eating well, but in his last year of art school in New York, he had a seizure in the shower, and he fell and he hit his head and he died. And everybody that knew him was devastated because he was so bright and alive, and he deserved to live more than so many of us. And it was really sad to lose him. And so I thought, I'm gonna make a dance for him, also because we had had conversations when I was in college, when I had just been dancing for about a year, and I said to him, you know, Greg, I mean, you're an artist, and I want to be an artist. I want to choose dance. I want to be a choreographer. But I also feel like I should like join the Peace Corps and like go around the world and save people and, you know, change the world or something. I'm really compelled to do that. And he said to me, you can change the world with art. You can impact an amazing number of people by making art and by making dance. Art changes lives, and art saves lives. And I know this because it saved mine. And that changed everything for me. To hear that from him, that conversation gave me permission to choose the life that I wanted. And so I chose dance and I chose art, and I never looked back. And so because of him, I had a dance company that I started, and I built a theater, and I had this festival. So I thought, I'm gonna make a dance for him and really honor him. And I also just wanted to express grief because he was gone, you know? And I wanted him here to celebrate all of this with me. So I picked a song by Tom Waits called Cold, Cold Ground.
Woo!
And it was sweet and sort of sad and bitter and nostalgic and raw and all these things that reminded me of Greg and how I felt about losing him. And, you know, I was putting this whole festival together. I didn't have a lot of time, so I just made some choreography. I decided to dance inside a hammock, a bungee kind of dance apparatus. And I got in it and practiced a few times, and it felt pretty good. And I just kind of threw a costume together, like a sports bra and a skirt. And, you know, I thought, well, this is gonna be cool, even if it's not really rehearsed, you know, what could go wrong? I'll just do this really, really moving tribute to him. And so this is me at the beginning of the festival, 2009, or the Anything Goes night. Like, so excited, ready to perform, and I go get changed, and the music starts, and I start to get into the hammock, and I start to sway back and forth, side to side, and I turn upside down, and it's a sold-out house, everybody's there, and I start to really push myself off the floor and reach toward the audience, and I'm really feeling them, they're really with me, I'm really loving it. And I push a little harder, and I reach towards them, and I'm getting really dramatic with it, feeling everything, and so good, and then wham! Just out of nowhere, the ground just comes up and hits me in the face, like really hard on the side of my eye. And I see stars, and everything gets real dizzy, and it turns black, and I'm like, no, you can't pass out. You can't, what's next? What's next in the choreography? You will not stop, you will keep going. And I coached myself right into finishing that dance, and I was gonna do it, and I kept going. It was good. They were gasping, worried about me, but they knew I was gonna be okay when I stood up in that hammock, and I continued, and I made this really beautiful arching shape, and I was swaying, and I felt wind on my nipples. That's not a thing that you feel very often when you're on stage, ever, really. And I looked down, and oh no, my sports bra had come all the way up to my shoulders. There were my boobs just hanging out. And I turned to, you know, adjust and discreetly pull it down. And I was mortified because you can injure yourself on stage and recover, and the audience will be with you. And you can also have a wardrobe malfunction and, you know, a little nip slip or something, and they'll get over it. They'll forget. But you cannot have both within like a 3-minute period. It's just not done. I was distraught. I was like, how do I get the hell out of here? I finished the dance. I was so sad, mortified. I get off stage, but I can't go anywhere because it's my damn festival. Here I am. I've got to finish the whole night out. I've got to host the after party. I've got to hang out with all the people who just saw my boobs. And I go into the bathroom. There's a bruise forming over my left eye, and it's like purple and blue, and it's actually kind of pretty. So I get some eyeshadow, and I put some on the other side, and it matches. I'm like, okay, I can do this. All right. Take some ibuprofen. I can get through this night.